Alright, solving polynomial equations. 2-dayer here. Alright, 2 days. This is a doozy. Okay, this is probably one of the hard. I don't want to say hardest, but definitely you have to understand kind of what you're doing. Alright, it's a lot of factoring, which I know is everybody's favorite. Okay, so let's see. This Megan. Yeah, there'll be a second one. Alright. Now, we know, or at least we're supposed to know, x squared minus 25 and how that factors. Alright, that goes x plus 5, x minus 5. Anybody know what that's called? Like that technique?
Perfect square.
No. Good try though. No. It's not FOIL. This is called a what? Starts with a D. 3 words.
Detaching.
No. Close.
Difference of 2 squares.
Difference of squares. Okay? Difference of squares. Alright? There's a special way difference of squares factors. It's always a squared minus b squared. And it goes to a plus b, a minus b. Alright? Now we're going to learn cubes. Okay? Sum of 2 cubes, difference of 2 cubes. And their factorizations are very, very similar. Both to the difference of squares and to each other. Okay? So you need to make sure that we get this box right here down. Okay?
Write that down.
Yeah, definitely. Alright. You need to know. You need to get this memorized. Because that's how this factors. Okay? Now, how... I know I'm zooming in for the in-class part, but up here where it was x squared minus 25, now you're going to be given, like, you know, cubes. So x cubed plus, like, say, 27. Up here we unsquared x squared, we unsquared 25 and filled those in.
Wait. Isn't that second parentheses kind of like what we already have done?
Mm-hmm.
With the squares?
Uh-huh.
Because it does.
That's what I'm saying. It's kind of similar. Okay? So here's the easiest way I think this works. For both of these, there's a lot of similarities, okay? A cubed plus b cubed, a cubed minus b cubed, that's what you're going to be given. Okay? This here, given.
Only the left side?
Left side, right here in blue. That's what you're given. You got to turn it into this side.
I have one more dumb question.
What's up?
It's going to be one or the other, like plus or minus.
Correct. Now, this is the side you got to memorize, okay? And if you notice, it's pretty easy, actually. It looks kind of complicated, but it's pretty simple. Your letter pattern stays the exact same for both. A, B, A squared, AB, B squared. For both of them, okay? The sign that you start with is the sign that goes in your binomial. See that? Started with a negative, so this is a negative. Started positive, so this is positive. The first sign of your trinomial is the opposite. Positive to negative, negative, positive. Last sign, both times, positive. Okay? Your homework tonight is to get that memorized. That's it.
What is the box on the left side?
Box on the left side is what you're going to be given.
No, I'm talking about like the first
Like
one
the
says sum of 2 cubes.
that's zoomed out.
Yeah.
Oh, sum of 2 cubes, difference of 2 cubes. That's their names. See? Megan?
Oh, why is the sign in the middle like the opposite, like always on the left side?
Okay, so you know how whenever we said the other while ago that factoring is like undoing foiling? So if you foil up here, x plus 5, x minus 5, it's going to go back to x squared minus 25, right? That holds true here. So the only way that these are going to foil back to what you start with is if these signs are opposite from each other. So that's why. Okay? Any questions? Everybody good? Great. Next one. Oh, I skipped one. Hold up. If we can't factor anything, it's a prime. All right? Jot that down real quick if you need to. If you can't factor it, it's prime. You won't have a whole lot of primes because I really don't like wasting your time to figure out if something is prime or not. Especially on like a quiz or a test or something like that. They might show up in a worksheet once in a while. They'll show up on this lesson once or twice. Other than that, you won't work with primes a lot. All right? Everybody good? Okay. So, factor each polynomial. If the polynomial cannot be factored, write prime. So here's where you kind of have to do a little bit of thinking, all right? So, first one we have is x cubed plus 64. So we're going to use which technique? If it's a plus in the middle, we're probably going to use sum. Okay? And that sum says it's a cubed plus b cubed equals a plus b times a squared minus ab plus b squared. Okay? So your first step in doing these, to go from what you're given to what you got to turn it into, fill in your binomial first. Figure out what is being cubed first, what is being cubed second. Okay? So down here, what's being cubed? X. So you put that first. Then your sign. And then for 64, what's being cubed there? 4. Okay? That's 4 times 4 times 4 is 64.
How do you?
So
Marks.
it's always just gonna be. Is it just like the last number, or how did you?
You have to do once you get some practice with these, you'll realize that about the same 4 or 5 numbers pop up. Okay, it's either going to be 1. It's either going to be 2 times 2 times 2, 3 times 3 times 3, 4 times 4 times 4, 5 times 5 times 5, 6 times 6 times 6. Okay, and that's what I would just do. I would just if you're not sure which one it is, and that'll come with practice. Okay, so today I might have to tell you more so. But like if you're not sure, just do 2 times 2 cubed on your calculator, 3 cubed on your calculator, 4 cubed on your calculator. That's how you can figure it out. Make sense?
Oh, okay.
All right.
So it's just that number.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Because I'm not going crazy with these. I
I
probably.
thought you just like put the 4 out of 64 or something. I was just confused.
Yeah, that's why. It's because it's whatever's being cubed
Okay.
from here down to here. Okay. All stuff, same thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Now that's your binomial. Now we got to fill out the trinomial part. Okay. And now since we have that binomial, you can use that to do your trinomial. So we have A, we have B. So your first term in your trinomial is going to be whatever A is, and you square it. Which means it's this first term here, and you square it. So x squared is x squared. Okay? Then you do the sign. Okay, these signs are always what you do, so the next sign is a minus. Middle term is A times B. So x times 4, which is 4x. Last sign is plus. And then you square the last number, 4, which is 16. And that's it.
Wait, why is B4 and not 64?
Because you uncube from here, from what I give you to your first binomial, you uncube it. So see how A is being cubed here to just A? B is being cubed here to just B? So you got to uncube each.
So you uncube every
Right.
each.
Okay? So you go to X and you go to 4. Alright. That's the answer. Okay, so your second one then is a difference. So now we need difference of cubes. The same letter pattern, right? A, B, A squared, A, B, B squared. The sign of the binomial is the sign that's ahead of you, so minus. First sign of your trinomial is your opposite, so plus.
Are you writing this down?
Last sign is always plus. Huh? Yeah, up here, see.
Oh, but on the neon green one, if you do it, wouldn't it be x to the third minus 16x plus 64?
Okay, so now, Same process though, okay? You're given a cubed and something else being cubed. This one we have y cubed minus 216. Always fill that binomial first, okay? So what's being cubed first? Y is being cubed. See that? Y cubed, y being cubed. Then the sign, and 6. Good. Okay? Typically 216 is the highest I will go. Okay? 7 is 343. I won't go higher than 7. Alright? Then you take that and you fill in your trinomial now. So you square the first term, so y times y is y squared. Opposite sign from what's ahead, so this time we're going to put a plus here. Multiply a and b, so y times 6, 6y, plus square 6, 36. And you got it.
So,
Okay, next up. Okay, I'm just going to put down the forms now instead of the whole thing. Okay. Okay, these can get harder a little bit, but the technique kind of stays the same. All right. So then you look at this one. So now instead of just having one term, we have two. Okay, Lainey?
So the two formulas we originally got, it's just like if it's addition and subtraction.
Right. So since this one's a minus, we're going to use the red one. Okay. So now you have two parts of your term. So instead of just saying, okay, what's being cubed here, it's just x. Now you have extra parts.
So let's find out what that's cubed.
Right. So you've got to figure out what's being cubed here and here and here.
Next,
So 5 and x as a product, 5x. I'm using the wrong color. Hold up. I was trying to keep this cute and color coordinated. There. 5x minus 8 is 2. Okay. Then you'd fill in the rest from up here, okay? So a squared, so that's now 5x. So 5x times 5x is 25x squared, good. Your next sign is a plus. Now you do a times b, so 5x times 2 to give you 10x, good. Plus 2 squared is 4. Done.
Would it be negative 10x
Mm-mm.
though?
Oh, I missed my x, didn't I?
because you're not worrying about what's on there.
Alright, so fill this in. So figure out what's being cubed here, which is 3y. This one's 4. So that's what you put here. 3y plus 4. Fill it in. Gosh dang it, wrong color again. We're doing plus. This whole me trying to be cute and color coordinated thing ain't working out. 3y plus 4. There we go. Square a. So that'd be 9y squared. Don't forget the exponent on your y. Okay, walking around some of you didn't have that part. Make sure you don't forget it, okay? Your next sign's a minus. 3y times 4, 12y. Last sign's always plus 16.
Is this for guitar?
A little bit. This one's a little harder.
you said 2 ones. That means these are the last 2? Or?
I believe so. Let me see what's next. Yep, we're stopping after these 2. For today. All right. Now, here's where this lesson does pick up, and it'll definitely get harder the next day we do this, which is tomorrow, I believe. Just because something looks like it doesn't factor, doesn't mean it can't be factored.
Oh, you just said you wouldn't go past 7.
I know. I did. So, here's my questions. Let's look at this from the very start. Okay, 2. Is there any number, any whole number that you can make 2, like uncube it?
No.
No. So right now everybody should be thinking what? Prime. But
Oh, but
they're both what?
Divisible by 2.
Divisible by 2. So what should you do?
Divided by 2.
False. Get the word right. Nuh-uh.
Multiply by 0.5.
Still wrong.
Boil?
Nope. Right letter though.
Factor.
Factor it out. These are not equations. These are expressions. You can't just divide by the 2 and make it go goodbye. You have to factor it out. Okay? So these are two-steppers. Ready? Go 2, parentheses, x cubed plus, what's 432 divided by 2? 216. See? See? I didn't lie.
Hey, that one's divisible. Where is it? 6.
We might have done that exact one before. I'm not sure.
Oh, we did?
Maybe. I don't know.
Up at the second one, we did y cubed.
Mine is 216. This one's plus. My apologies.
And it's an X. No y. It's completely
Yes. Because you remember, your final answer is supposed to be able to multiply all the way back through to what you start with. Okay? So if you don't bring this 2 down to your next step, you're not like a final answer, because then you're missing the factor of 2 that should be up here to get you to 2x cubed.
Question.
Okay? But once you get this factor of 2 out, you just do this x cubed plus 216 like we did the first 2 slides.
And just keep the 2 outside.
And keep the 2 outside.
Don't do anything at the end.
That's it. So
But
this
if
is,
it's not divisible by 2, you just say prime.
there'll be something else. Because look at the next one. Okay? So x plus 6, parentheses, x squared minus 6x plus 36.
Oh, that's not too bad.
Okay?
Where do you get 6 from? Okay.
The next one's not looking very nice.
Okay? Last one here is probably the most difficult one you would see, because there's no real obvious one to divide by. But 81 should kind of be a trigger for you. But does that help you, Dimitri? It does not. So it can't be 9. But Miss Harris, 3. Okay. So at least here's my stick. Ready? One of these numbers that I give you should at least trigger something. Okay. For example, this one up here. Whenever you have this random 2 sitting here, that should trigger. Okay. That should trigger that. Hey, maybe I should look into this one. Maybe it's also divisible by 2. And maybe that gives me a perfect cube. Down here, this and the other one honestly could be a 5.
That's divisible by 3 too.
Which is also going to be divisible by 3, but it's also going to be divisible by what? Eventually it's going to be 5. So if it ends in 5, what you guys will eventually get comfortable with is what number being cubed ends with a 5, which is 125. Okay? So that's what I'm talking about with your comfort level coming the more of these you see. Make sense? So what you do is you take out a 3, which leaves you with 125 x cubed minus 27 y cubed. Okay, it's also the first one where each a and b has had 2 parts to it. Okay, so be careful with that. So 3 parentheses 5x minus 3y parentheses square the first, so 25 x squared, next sign is a plus, 15 xy, last sign's always plus, 9y squared.
Alright.